Hi, it's me, Jasmine, once again. In today's video, I'm going to share with you about Tel Hazor and cult worship. So let's start. Tel Hazor is one of the largest, most important biblical sites in the Canaanite and Israelite periods. The Bible gave it the title, the head of all those kingdoms. Indeed, the travel to the excavated site is an exciting experience, bringing you back 3,000 to 4,000 years to the time this mighty city was the gateway between Egypt and Mesopotamia. Joshua 11:10. And Joshua at that time turned back and took Hazor, for Hazor before time was the head of all those kingdoms. Tel Hazor is located on the east of the northern part of Israel, the Upper Galilee. Its prime location on the main ancient road through Syria to Babylon made it an important city. This road bypassed the impassable way through the desert and was an important link between the two strong empires of the ancient world, Egypt on the south and Mesopotamia, Babylon, Syria, Persia on the north. You can reach the site, a national park, by driving north from Rosh Pina Highway number 90. The museum that hosts most of the archaeological findings is located in another location in the nearby kibbutz Ayelet HaShakar, 0.5 km north to the park's entrance. Additional findings are displayed in the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. The word Hazor or Hazor from the original Hebrew means an enclosure. The term may have been used to imply that the settlement was the defensive walls around it. In the Middle Bronze Age, around 1750 BCE, and the Israelite period 9th century BCE, Hazor was the largest fortified city in the country and one of the most important in the Fertile Crescent. Hazor was 10 times the size of Jerusalem and totaled 200 acres, 81 hectares, 200 football fields in size. The upper part of the Tel is around 30 acres, 12 hectares, and the lower part is around 170 acres, 69 hectares. What we see today of Hazor is 1/8 the size of what it once was. To the north lies most of the city, which is now a farm field. It's the largest Tel in Israel. It's also believed to have been the largest city in ancient Canaan. It was one of the three major cities of defense in Israel, like Gezer to the south, Megiddo in the middle of the country, and Hazor in the north. All three cities were on the Via Maris. Via Maris is important travel routes which link to Africa, Egypt with Syria and Asia. Hazor rivaled Nineveh in size and importance. Hazor is mentioned 19 times in the Bible. Pieces of interest includes Israelite city ruins, Israelite walls, the lower city, the temple tombs, the northern walls, the Canaanite temple or the palace, the Solomon's walls and gate. Archaeologists have uncovered a 6-chambered gate at Hazor, which is nearly identical in size and design to gates at Megiddo and Gezer. One of the places of interest is the ash layer in the Canaanite palace or temple. the Canaanite altar, and of course the water system. A century after Solomon's time, the Israelites built a massive shaft, 131 feet, 40 meters deep into the Tel, reaching the water table below. The water system of Hazor dates to approximately the same time as that of Megiddo, but is different in one respect. The Israelites sunk a shaft nearly 130 feet through the Tel, but instead of building a tunnel to a water source outside the city, they built a step passageway that leads 75 feet farther down into the bedrock below the city. Here, the ancient engineers found the water table and fresh water within the city walls. The people of the city descended into the shaft on stairs around the outside, probably without railings, some of which can be seen today on the far side of the shaft, worn smooth by the feet of thousands of nameless Israelites. If the stairs were wet, drawing water probably became a dangerous task, and one wonders how many injuries or fatalities occurred as a result. The rock walls above kept the walls of the shaft from collapsing into the tunnel below. This city was destroyed by a fire but rebuilt by the house of Omri during the 9th century BC. A strong citadel which covered most of the western part of the Tel was built at the site. Although the citadel was fortified in the century that followed, it was not enough to save it from the Assyrians. In 732 BC, Hazor was conquered by the forces of Tiglath-Pileser III. After capturing Hazor, the Assyrians built their own citadel at the site, which was in use until the Persian period, 538 to 400 BC. Lastly, another citadel seems to have been built during the 2nd century BC, which corresponds to the Hellenistic period. In addition to creating a chronology of the site's occupation, the archaeological excavations also provide important information about the cultures that lived on Tel Hazor. Through the artifacts and ruins they left behind, for instance, many figurines of the Canaanite deity Baal have been found in the pre-Israelite level of the mound. As these figures were primarily made during the Middle and Late Bronze Ages, it shows that the inhabitants of Hazor at the time belonged to the wider Canaanite culture. As another example, during the reign of Solomon, the upper city was rebuilt and fortified. Solomon's fortifications consisted of a casemate wall and a large gate with 3 chambers on either side and 2 towers flanking the passage. This form of fortification was found to be identical to those of the Tel mounds of Gezer and Megiddo. The Amarna letter, written in Akkadian cuneiform text, a letter from Abdi Tirshi, king of Hazor, to the Egyptian pharaoh Amenhotep III, or his son Akhenaten. Abdi Tirshi reassures the pharaoh that he is loyal and he is keeping his cities in good order. The letter is on display at the British Museum in London. Among the notable artifacts are the bronze statues of enthroned god and king. The statue on the left depicts one of the major Canaanite gods, El, head of the pantheon or the storm god. The god's divine statue is indicated by his tall headdress, head of an ivory figurine, fragment of Egyptian statue, the Hazor fortress gate. Out of limestone, it may be belonged to a royal structure, possibly a fortress, dated to the Iron Age and displayed at the Israel Museum. This is the right half of a double gate that stood at the entrance to the fortress of Hazor in the time of King Ahab. It is built of finely hewn blocks and adorned with 2 carved capitals which support a massive lintel. Hope you enjoy our today's video about Tel Hazor. May you gain a lesson out of this video. Hope you enjoy it, and I'm asking you to please subscribe to my channel and like my video, and if you want to have comment, you can comment and share it with your friends and loved ones. Thank you. Goodbye.